welcome to the Dope and Tape Show. We wanted to bring you something special for episode 150. I can't believe we're already here. It's still crazy to think about 150 episodes of the Dope and Tape Show. It's been a ride. It's been fun. Huh?
It's incredible.
Yeah, incredible, as Bobby says. Yeah. So I want to remind everybody, I know that we haven't been, I guess, super consistent. Me and Bobby, we travel a lot, and we try to just do it as much as we can. We're trying to do it every Thursday. We're also going to try to do on Tuesday coming up next week, Wheels Lacrosse. We're going to do a big episode on fire pumps with Fire Tech. So I'm going to try to get Wheels at my house, which shouldn't be hard if I tell him that Sarah will cook for him, so he should be okay with that. So that's going to be fun, man. I'm really excited. And speaking of Fire Tech is one of our partners, one of our sponsors, and we have some discounted classes for you guys. So there's a fire pump. I believe it's 1.2, fire pump 1.2. It's not just the entry level, as in this is a fire pump, and this is the motor, and this kind of goes a little bit more in depth on testing, on servicing, on troubleshooting, and with the discount Dope and Tape, it takes it under $100. So it's a great class. FireTech also has a new fire alarm in class that's in Spanish. So that's also discounted. You just use the discount code Dope and Tape, and then you'll see what it's discounted to on the in the cart. And today we have FFSA. They have a new campaign called Do You Know? And it's Laurel was telling me a little bit about the story about how that came about, and we heard about it and we wanted to share it with all y'all. So I wanted to introduce everybody, starting with Christy Caldwell. Welcome, Christy. Can you tell us a little bit about kind of what you do now?
Well, I started in the industry in 1989 as a pipe fitter, and I was in the field for a few years and went into design for about 10. And I'm in the sales doing as an estimator for over 20 years. And I've been part of the Florida Fire Sprinkler Association Board of Directors for 4 years. And now I'm on the executive board, and I have a Contractors 2 license. So I'm involved with Florida Fire Sprinkler Association pretty heavily.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Cool.
What about you, Jason?
Justin.
Justin, sorry.
What
Justin.
up? Dope and Tape.
How about
How
that?
y'all doing?
Very
Well,
good.
I
How are you,
started the
Justin?
industry about I think we're getting up to about 30 years. Started in the shop, moved to service, and I went into service design, and then moved my way up into sales, process manager, and then inspection manager, senior vice president, and now currently the president of Whale Automatic Fire Sprinklers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a family business, but love what I do, and love the people that not only are on our team, but the ones that we protect every day. And yeah, love the industry and love the people that are in the industry. So doing some awesome things.
So can you tell me a little bit about how you went from the field to design? Was that hard to do for someone who's in the field now? Like, what kind of steps would you say that they need to do? And did you have any trouble in any areas that you kind of can share on?
Having that drive, determination, and picking up the books before I went into design. I did a lot of reading up and learning behind the scenes to get me ready for that stage. But I've always been I like working with my hands and building things. So I don't know if it came natural, but well, let's take that back. I thought it came natural, and when I got to 2D, that's not working with your hands. That's not building something. So
Right.
I did have to struggle through that, but and you got to follow a lot of, all the codes and everything else. So I don't know. I would say sit with someone that is doing it, and we call it a walk a mile and automatic, but sit with someone to get some of that empathy and learn about what they do and how they do it, and see if it's a good fit. But you start to learn some things, even if it's a day here, day there, whatever. But to get you familiar with it, and then pick up on some books, and yeah.
Awesome. So that's a question a lot of people
Yes.
a lot of the field guys will say. A lot of field guys, not a lot, but some field guys will say that they want to move to design.
Yeah, it is a big change. You're going from
It's a big change.
stuff with your hands into working with a mouse. Yeah, it is
Right.
different.
Click, click, click.
Yeah.
There
I
was no
call it
leaks when I designed it.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
when you start looking at things from a 2D image, it's a heck of a lot different than screw and piping when you can actually see it in the field. But
Right.
it's fun. I mean, it's learning.
Right. And Laurel,
Good job on the
what's
name.
your? I did. Thank you. I told you. I know it's just I'm not just getting over a cold or whatever it is. So I
Well,
have trouble speaking normal anyway. So
Yes,
this is just
that's
making
it.
it even more difficult.
Man, I was gonna say that. You said you took the words out of my mouth. All right.
my family, my husband retired recently from Wayne Automatic after 42 years, and I worked there for a short time, about 10 years, and moved into this position with the Florida Fire Sprinkler Association by accident. I was in between and thinking I wanted to do something different. I called Buddy Dewar and said, hey, why don't you contract me to run a conference for you? And he did, and he liked what I did. So I was hired as his executive assistant. And then after 3 years of that, the board of directors saw something valuable in me and promoted me to the position of executive director, which I am now, a job that I was made to do. And I feel like it's my calling. I love what I do. And I am the first woman in the National Fire Sprinkler Association to hold this title. And
That's cool.
I am also the only one that did not have a fire background as far as AHJ or that kind of training. So I'm pretty proud of it, and I really love what I do.
Good for you. Let's do
That's
a
so
round of applause.
important. Yeah,
There
that's
was
so.
lightning going off behind you as you were saying that. It gave me the chills. Anyone who's just joining us for episode 150 with FFSA, thank you. We appreciate you. I see you guys all in the comments. Thank you for your comments. Hi.
Yeah. So we wanted to have you on because you have this new campaign, and it's called "Do You Know" campaign. And Laura, how did that kind of come about?
Well, we do a lot of side-by-side burns in Florida. So I go all over the state, and every time we do one, I make it my mission to talk to the families and the people who are there who work.
Now that I'm start doing attachments, so you'll be able to find that. And the other one that you can do, I attached a Vanguard shell.
Uh-oh.
We got some.
Tones.
We can hear that, Christy.
Sorry.
Anyway,
Trying to dirt it off.
So I make it my mission to talk to the people who are there that are in our industry, and I ask them the same 5 questions. And I was finding out over and over and over again that people who work in our industry do not know how fire sprinklers work. They don't understand the value of what they're doing, and they're going to work for a paycheck and not realizing that they are adding value and saving lives. So I was at a picnic at Wayne Automatic.
Oh
And,
gosh, you went down this road.
I am gonna.
Come on, Laurel.
I was in line with a guy who brought his grandmother as his plus one, and I said, "You know what he does for a living? Do you know that how fire sprinklers work? Do you know that in life safety and saving lives every day?" And I was telling her how fire sprinklers work, and this kid who is a firefighter, and I'll do the accent just right. He said, "Shoot, I didn't even know that." So I walked over to Justin. I said, "Justin, we've got work to do. This is what's happening." And Justin jumped right on board with that, as well as Christy. And we decided we need to make a campaign to make sure that people are training their people on what fire sprinklers do, that we felt like the receptionist and the accountant and the IT guy, these people need to know that they are working in an industry that is making a difference. And we want to make sure that they're trained, that companies are training their employees. They're not there just for a paycheck, but they are making a difference. So we were at each task in our committee to call 10 different companies and ask the person who answered the phone these 5 questions. And 80 to 90% of those got most of those questions wrong.
Oh my goodness.
So we realized that we had some work to do. Justin, do you want to expand on that?
Shoot, you did a pretty good job, but I think it's
Yeah, that's great.
It's really myth busting, the common misconceptions of what we do, and not only does it help, helps educate our team, but help educate the public for what we do. And so I think it's a mindset change to the public. Right now, it's an evil thing. When they look up, that's going to dump water and destroy my house.
Yep. Right.
So if you were able to educate the public on what that is, not only would it help give them the information they needed, just like getting out of a building. If it gets to, if there is a disaster or something that they need to know what to do, it's better to educate them on the front end instead of the back end. And instead of looking at fire sprinklers as an evil, they look at it as a security blanket for their family.
True. That's so true.
And also can help codes and law writing, help educate people and put I don't know.
Even the people that do maybe know a little bit about them, they might even think that all the sprinklers are going to go off, or or like Isaac in chat is saying, some people think that sprinklers go off with smoke, or there's just, if they think they know, there's still very misconceptions with it, right?
Yeah.
And so you guys gotta that's
and it also makes getting laws changed or passed very difficult when they do not really see the value in what we're trying to do.
Yeah. And it also brings people into the industry as well. If everybody was sharing that information out, not only the ones that work in the industry, but sharing that to their families and their families sharing it to other people, it just expands and grows. And people start to see the benefit of it and brings people into the trade.
Which we need that. We need that bad.
It helps all the way around.
Well, you think about the kids that are in school. If they go into school and they see fire sprinklers in their school and they look up and they're going to go, my dad or my mom or my grandma or my granddad, they work here. They do this. I know how these work.
Yeah.
So we need the kids to know. And people need to go home and tell their kids and tell their families. And that's what our goal is.
Right.
That's good. And you kind of put together something really cool, not just for, everybody loves like Lego type things.
There it is.
Yeah.
This is super cool.
Yeah, sprinkler building, sprinkler room, 2 sprinklers. A fire. Only one goes off because why? They're activated by heat.
That's
and
awesome.
You can have a blaze block.
I think you were going to give one away, right?
I am going to give some away today, Justin. If you guys are ready for that.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right,
you have a question?
Hey guys, get ready. Yeah.
Who's got a question?
Well,
first one that answered correctly in the chat wins it.
And they're going to send their address to you in the.
That's right. So they'll send their information to dopeandtape@gmail.com.
But let me tell you, we've surveyed over 500 people in the last month with this, and the average grade of the test is 2.9 out of the 5 questions. So I'll ask the first question, and the first question is, what is the national average response time for fire departments in the United States? And that's the question. I'm not going to give the multiple choice. I'm going to see if people know it.
I think it's 10 minutes.
Well, you're not answering.
Yeah, Yeah, why are you giving the answer?
No.
Well, it's
Oh, I
not
thought
good.
I
You
won.
did not
I
get it
thought I was
right.
in this too.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
He
do
did
I win some blocks?
No, you answered incorrectly. So,
Yeah, give them time. Give
So
them
you're wrong,
time.
Brian.
There is a little delay, but the first person is
yeah,
Chris Logan from the Fire Sprinkler Podcast with 7 minutes,
it
followed
is
by
6 to 9 minutes is the answer.
Big Country 12 minutes, Joe Saffer 7 minutes.
Well, the answer is 6 to 9. So take the first 2 or 3 and ask them to send their email address. That'd be great.
All right, we got three
That is
people.
Joe Schaefer, Big Country, and
Isaac
Fire
Luna.
Sprinkler Podcast guy.
Yep.
All right, you
No, but
ready?
Big Country said 12.
Oh,
Oh,
that's too
yeah,
high.
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
So I
Isaac,
guess
Joe,
Isaac.
and Chris. So
Uh,
we gotta eat. You need their shipping information, right?
That's correct. And I'll
Yes.
send them a set of blaze blocks.
If you guys want a blaze box, Chris, Joe, and Isaac, email dopandtape@gmail.com with your name and your address. I bet Chris has already got one. Go to the next. I have one. Yeah. Who, who wants it? Next person to write the answer.
Well, the answer's been said out loud.
I know they already got it. Everybody stopped guessing once they seen a couple people get it.
I'll be slower next time.
Let them in the country.
Should we go to the next question?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. How long does it take for a home fire sprinkler to activate in a typical fire? This is a residential fire sprinkler. How long does it take for it to activate in a typical fire?
Don't answer, Brian.
I'm not answering. Don't answer.
No, I was talking to my the help.
Brian
Okay,
wanted to win some.
Yeah, no, I haven't got a blocks.
Oh, and Big Country, Big Country. He said 6 to 9 with a laughing emoji. That's awesome. Joe says 90 seconds. Isaac says 2 to 3 minutes. Daryl says 60 seconds.
You tell me when you want me to give the answer.
Let's let a couple of them keep guessing. One time we told them to try to type Bobby letter by letter, and it was like the comments went crazy. That was my favorite one.
Oh, yeah, that was awesome.
What do you got over there, kid? Chopsticks?
Me?
Yeah, you.
No.
1
No.
minute.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, you can tell them the answer now if you want.
Okay, it's 1 to 3 minutes. So
1 to 3
minutes. And we have to think about what we have in our homes right now. That 1 to 3 minutes happens so quickly because we have all that plastic in our home. I mean, our TVs are humongous, nothing but plastic. Even our refrigerators are plastic. So that's all toxic smoke.
Like
Okay.
the couch goes up quick too. Okay, so that would have been.
Oh, yeah.
That's Isaac. That's Isaac again. As Daryl said 60 and Joe said 90.
So there we go. They were all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. The next question is, how many gallons of water per minute does the average home fire sprinkler use to control a fire? This is a residential sprinkler.
All right, I wrote Daryl down for that second round. Because Joe and Isaac already got one the first round. Remember, you guys got to email us at dopeandtape@gmail.com with your name and your shipping address, please.
Is anybody answering that one?
Yep, I got one set. Big Country says
7,
7. Joe
15
says
GPM,
15.
5.
Daryl says 5. Anybody else? Come on, guys, take some guesses. 13 GPM depending on pressure. Justin says 10 to 15. Yeah, we're getting a couple extra guesses on this one. Keep them coming, boys. Maybe. Is Janine here?
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
sure.
think so. Maybe her Wi-Fi is storming, you know?
Yeah.
She usually says hi, but I could have missed her. These comments are going crazy.
She called me before the show, but I was up on standing on a chair putting up a curtain iron.
What's a curtain iron?
Not a curtain iron. What is it? The curtains, the
Curtain
curtain
rod?
rod.
Curtain rod.
Yeah,
Curtain iron.
curtain iron. Yeah.
I didn't know if they straighten the curtains out or what.
You gotta iron them. You don't iron your curtains?
No.
Tammy says Laurel won't let me play.
Tammy must be watching it. Tammy is one of our committee members and the creative genius behind the sprinklers here. She made all 2,000 of our little sprinkler heads on her 3D printer.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
wow.
I know.
Thank you for joining us, Tammy.
She's an amazing
Great
creative
job.
person.
That's
Yeah.
great.
So
Curtain iron hurt my head.
Curtain iron.
Curtain iron. That's good.
well, the answer was 10 to 25 gallons per minute.
Yeah.
10 to
Okay.
25. Okay.
One of the people in the field that said 500 gallons a minute, and 500 gallons a minute would probably blow your house open, but you know, if you had that much water.
Yeah, right.
So, but it's 10 to 25. And the last question that we ask, and this should be pretty easy. What is the most common myth portrayed in Hollywood about fire sprinklers?
Brian wants to say
Ooh,
it so
this is a good
bad.
one.
It might be the only one Brian got right.
Thanks, Laurel.
Yeah.
That's good. That is good. I think I was just talking about this.
So, and of course, we all know what the answer is, right?
I think I do.
I think I do. But I mean, for example, you have these questions in a majority of everybody here, including me and Bobby, we're guessing. You know, we don't know the exact answers to those.
Mm-hmm. They all go off. All sprinklers don't activate at the same time. They all go off.
That's correct.
That's correct.
Yep.
Joe, Big Country, Al. Big Country's on fire with the dope and tape giveaways.
Well, very cool. But we asked these 5 questions to, we were at NFPA show and we asked them to everybody that came by the booth, they had to do it. Multiple choice makes it a little easier, you know, for them to decipher what the answers are. But still, 2.9 was the average score. And most people were so embarrassed if they thought they couldn't get it. They were trying to get out of the iPad so I wouldn't see it. And, you know, it was because, but they don't know it and they should know it if they're in this industry. We should be.
You didn't let them get away, did you?
Well,
Oh, no.
yes, I did not. I said, don't be embarrassed. Here, let me announce it to the world what you said.
Yeah.
So
That's great. And have you, outside of the questions and in the show and in the blocks, what are some of the other strategies along with this that you'll have planned?
well, we're working to create posters that people can hang in their offices, but and we're going to talk about our chapter in a little bit. But one of the things we do is the area interest meeting, and I've just taken this whole run through the area interest meetings and encouraging those people who attend those. Hey, we've got to do better at training our own, and
Yeah.
we're going to use it in everything that we do. So every class that we provide for anybody, every event that we go to, we are going to be promoting Do You Know? And we're doing it next week at the home show at the Southeastern Builders Conference. We will be giving away Blaze blocks and we'll be promoting the Do You Know campaign because we want the builders to know the trade-offs that they could get. We also want them to know how they work. And we're giving away Do You Know hot sauce. So if you're down at SEBC, we'll be there promoting this same concept.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and you all, everybody that's on the podcast tonight, if you're hearing about it, all you gotta do is share it. share that information
That's cool.
with your
Is,
team.
is it what can we do to help you guys?
Well, you are doing something right now by
Hear the word.
getting the word out that we're really I mean, I really think we're doing a disservice to our industry if we're not training within our own companies.
Right. Brian is having some technical difficulties. Hopefully he'll be back.
He's
Yeah,
not having a thunderstorm.
yeah, I'm passionate about getting the young guys into the industry and the young gals, there's room for everybody and we need to
Well, that's
we need
interesting
to
you said that because I've given this test out to over 500 people. And one of the questions on the beginning of the test is what age group do you fall in? And most of the people who take the test are 41 to 60 years old, which shows that we've got a definite problem in getting that next generation in. So that is another thing that we are going to really encourage and push and get people excited.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to see more younger faces at these conventions and these conferences and
I
we
think
gotta
the
start
problem is
getting
that
them. We gotta get
because
them there.
yeah, well, they're younger, and the companies are not going to invest the money in getting them to a lot of these events. So we've got to figure out something that we can do that will benefit them that the companies can afford to do. We do an event called Tagging for Success, which brings all the water-based inspectors, and we did over 350, right, guys, of training for them, which
Yeah.
was
Yes.
on training. And this is where we first introduced this Do You Know campaign there this year. And it was staggering. And if Tammy were on here, she ran that booth and I said, she goes, it's embarrassing that these guys are out doing inspections and they don't know how a system works.
The basics, the basics. Daryl
Yeah.
says, I don't think Big Country really lives in the country. His Wi-Fi is way too good.
Yeah.
I live on 80 acres
I
and my
think
internet is
especially
insanely
you
quick.
said getting people out there. I know you were talking about the field guys, the apprentices. I think that's important. But as far as our industry and getting people excited about our industry, not just for a job, a career in the future, which is important, but also like something that y'all want to do. Since they're blocks, they're fun for kids, so they can learn as well. But you go to these I'm not 100% sure on NFSA and AFSA's ages, but we found out at NFPA that you have to be 18 to walk the floor. Like at that point, in getting the knowledge and getting the excitement for someone to join a career early, that's over with. By the time you're 18, you pretty much have an idea where you're going. And that's something I would like to see changed. I understand it comes down to an insurance thing, but if I could bring my 8-year-old to a knife or gun show, I'm pretty sure I could take him to a fire protection convention,
So you're
Oh,
saying that you have to be 18 years old in order to go to the convention?
Yeah, yeah,
That's what we were told.
Wow.
yeah.
Huh.
We're
Well, I know
working
at
on that.
SCBC next week, I've seen kids there quite often each year. So I wonder if it's just the fire protection, which doesn't make sense because I see them at the SCBC.
Yeah, we were speaking at NFPA, and it was brought up when we got to the discussion part, and it's just, I mean, I mentor at high schools. Last year, I was able to get 3 guys into fire protection, but they're not able to go to the conventions. They're not able to go and participate, or at least to NFPA. I can't say on NFSA and AFSA. I don't know the ages, so I'm not going to speak on it. But that's a definitely big problem that we have.
well,
Yep.
we tried to pass legislation last year here in Florida to allow 17-year-olds to work on construction sites. And because they graduate at 17, they need a job at 17, and they can't go on a construction site until they're 18. So
Yeah.
we were not successful with getting, what was it? Do you guys remember? But it wasn't on a construction site. They couldn't do construction work. There was
I mean,
I
I
don't,
Well, they
allegedly,
put on the residential side, but it wasn't on the commercial side, I think.
yeah, I allegedly started when I was 15. hanging
Yeah.
pipe and pulling wire and all that. And I turned out just fine ish, so
That's what's wrong. Jeez.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah, people ask me when did I start. I said, well, I started paying into Social Security about 15 years ago, but
Right.
we were showing up on the job before that.
Yeah, I spent my summers, going hang pipe
Oh, that's good.
and assisting with inspections and pulling wire. I mean, I had no idea what was going on. I didn't really put it together then, but I did later. But I did still.
You
I
started
still,
gaining empathy.
yeah, a lot of different industry experiences, seeing different aspects of fire protection very early. But it was, put on your hard hat and your vest and don't talk to nobody. So it's being mute. You don't exist.
Daryl says, I would love to see children's sprinkler books, and Tammy says, hardly any books mention fire sprinklers. Children books would be great. What up, Chandler?
NFSA
children's
has
books.
children coloring books.
Yeah.
Tell her to reach out to me. We can get her some coloring books.
Let's get some coloring books going. I gotta go back to the high school that I came from and go talk to the plumbing shop. Get in there
You
and
can
talk to
also
the
go to
freshmen.
the agriculture classes. I think you can find some young men and young ladies in there
Ooh.
too. Yeah, I've always said the ag classes would be the ones where you can find the kids that are willing to work with their hands.
Yeah.
That's true.
And I go to high schools and then I contact the principal and then I have them get me in touch with whoever handles career planning. And then if anybody's looking to get into the blue collar industry, I just ask this let me talk to them. Just let me talk to them. And sometimes we usually the conversations always go further. They usually reach out. Um, but yeah, last year I did three, and then they're hanging pipe. One of them studying for his NICEP in inspections. So super excited about that.
That's awesome.
What's up, Isaac?
I taught high school classes, local one of the high schools in the mid 90s, the fire sprinkler class there at the high school. Just like your HVAC or plumbing class, it was a fire sprinkler class that I taught. And in fact, we still have one of the guys from then, he still works for us today.
Oh wow, that's incredible.
Oh, Chris Logan says your coloring book's great. NFSA's coloring book's great.
Thanks, Chris Logan.
Quinn says, watching with my 1-year-old. Gotta start him early. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that. I've been
Yeah.
watching the Dope and Tape show since I was 1 year old. Big Country says, I might have to write a book. That's great. Good to be
Awesome.
back. Anybody who's just joining us, episode 150, the FFSA. Appreciate you guys. Hit the like and subscribe button if you can. My high school is a career tech prep school. My old teacher has actually asked me or know someone to come in and talk about fire protection for his students. Yo, you're about to go home. You're about to be home for a week. Hit up the high school, Isaac. Let them know. Yeah, we gotta start talking to kids in schools. But who told us that
Yeah,
who told us that it's gotta happen before high school? Wouldn't we just hear that?
I did. I did. I mentioned that when we talked. It needs to start in middle school.
I think somebody else mentioned it, and now you're just saying it.
No, I think they
Someone
just
much
heard
more
me.
important and they did like research and everything, and they said it, and now you're just saying it. But we could let it slide, I guess.
Well,
I
they
say
do.
that because I've seen it, and I just recently, I have my oldest son. He's 15. He just came up through middle school, and I would always talk to his friends, and that's middle school is when they're most curious about that kind of stuff.
And impressionable.
Because it's all unknown, exactly, and they can get excited. By the time they're high school, that's all they're worried about. They're just thinking about being cool and accepted. That's all. About senior year, I guess they're trying to decide on what they want to do, but by that time, it's way too late,
The
in
local
my
schools
opinion.
around here have career day for the middle
Yeah,
schools. So get back into that and
Yeah,
maybe
we're
reach
gonna
out to some of these schools.
hit up every career day, Bry, with the Arco trailer.
yeah, just bring it on in.
Seriously, I'm being
Yeah, that'd be
serious.
great. I mean, the Arco trailer is great, and I did go to a career day with the trailer out in Arkansas, and it was great. Tons of kids.
They just get in and they can see it. They can touch it and know about it and know there's something out there other than electrical and plumbing, you know?
We do a future builders camp. I think Justin might like to touch on that because I mean it's a really big deal.
Yeah, it is. How many students were there last year?
We have about 100 students from across the state of Florida.
That's what I thought. Yeah, there's about 100 something kids from all around the state of Florida, but they go through and you see every one of them and face to face with them, be able to share your story, how you got up to where you are, um, climbing that ladder throughout the industry. And this past, was it last year?
Yeah.
Where no, the year before, where we built the riser challenge. So we actually had to build a riser and we timed it. They loved it. It was a hit.
They had to do it from plans. They had to look at the plans and build it, and they'd never seen anything like it before.
And you actually had
that's cool.
the teacher was getting into it as well. They're not supposed to, but you could see them
Right.
wanting to get into it. It was
They
fun.
can't help it. I couldn't help myself.
No.
I want to do it. Just hearing about it.
But timing that and seeing them light up about it, and it was really exciting. It was a good event.
Yeah.
Janine, hello, Janine.
There she's my friend.
Janine is here.
She made it.
Legend.
Awesome. We love Janine. We love
She's a
her.
legend. Man, you really are sick, huh, kid?
Dude, I'm dead sick. Yeah, super sick.
Wow, the lightning
I'm trying to, dude, I'm doing the
Laurel
best I can.
is excellent.
Yeah, I just saw it passing by.
Keeps on just like that's great.
Yeah.
Big storms down
So
there.
something else
Wi-Fi's
I
holding
wanted-
up for us though.
Yeah,
It
y'all doing
is.
good. Something else I wanted to talk about was FFSA and as a chapter. I mean, y'all, it seems to me, I could be wrong, but from outside looking in, y'all seem like the chapter that's doing the most things, the most involved, the most movement. I don't know about financially, but I would imagine with all that put together, you would be the most financial supported chapter in America. I just want to know what you are doing, and I'm here in Georgia, and I would love for Georgia to be more like Florida. I can't speak for any of the other chapters since I'm not really, involved in those, but I do go to some chapters in some other states when I can. So what do you think sets y'all apart?
Do you guys want me to start with this? Because it excites me.
Yeah.
We have
Get it, Laurel.
part is that I work with a board of directors who are very, very hands-on and engaged. And I think the biggest thing to having a successful chapter is that you have companies who are willing to invest in that chapter and be involved in that chapter. Justin and Christy are on several committees that they work actively on, and we keep these committees actively going. We also do the area interest meetings, which are huge. We just finished a round of 11 meetings from Fort Walton Beach to Miami. We did 11 meetings over a 3-week period of training classes, and everything we do is offered to AHJs for free so that we can build those partnerships with the AHJs. And that is the most important thing to our board of directors, because when we go on a job site, they want that AHJ to speak the same language that we're speaking, and that they understand where we're coming from. And the only way we can do that is with training. And we do all of this from the proceeds of the Buddy Duar Golf and Ski Classic, which is coming up March 24th of 2025. It is the largest industry-related golf ski tournament in the United States. When I started, we had 62 golfers our first year.
Wow.
We have 330 to 340 people at our event, and it is every proceed from that event comes right back to Florida, and the board of directors direct where that money goes to invest it back into our state. So the number one reason we are so successful is because the board of directors is hugely supportive of what I do, and they encourage me and help me to be successful.
Something that I've seen and I've heard happen, and I'm not just speaking on GSFA at all. So I'm not trying to, say that, but I have talked to people in other states and wondering what's going on there and all that stuff. And it seems to say the same story. When they have the meetings, they discuss all these things, they make all these plans, and then everybody goes back to work. And nothing is continued.
I'll tell you the difference.
Huh.
It's Laurel. Laurel makes the difference. She's the one that contacts all of us and gets us to volunteer
Keeps
for all
pushing.
of these things. Yeah, absolutely. She
That's
is our leader, that she just leads us right on down wherever we need to go. And she's the difference maker.
The
Absolutely.
comments are saying that too, Laurel. Tammy
Yeah.
says Florida has Laurel, and she
That's
works
it.
hard.
You have to have a strong leader and one that is continuously pushing it.
Bravo,
You have
Laurel.
the
You're doing
you have the
great.
board, but Laurel does a lot. I mean, we go into comprehensive training programs that we have, or but you got to have somebody pushing it, and relationships. We have built a strong group of really awesome contractors that all want the same thing. And that's to better our industry, but our group, FFSA.
For the betterment of the industry.
Now, Timmy, you're going to be retiring soon, right? So you got to let us know all your secrets.
Oh, me?
Yes.
Laurel, yeah.
Is that true?
May of next year. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
No.
Too soon.
You can't retire
is.
from this industry. You're fibbing. We're gonna see you. Tammy says you're relentless. She is relentless, but we need her. Are you going to GFSA meeting, Brian?
I have been going. If I'm in Georgia, I go for sure, 100%. But
Come to AFSA
sometimes
chapter
I'm somewhere
meetings
else.
when you're in Virginia. Where's the tournament next year? That's a great question. I want to. How do I get in? How does Brian and I get on that tournament?
Well, the tournaments at Mission Inn and the skeet is done at Guy Ranch, which Justin opens up for us to have a skeet shoot so that people don't play golf, have an opportunity to come and still do something. So it'll be at Mission Inn and Howie in the Hills. The airport would be Orlando. This year is going to be super special because it is my last one and it's the 30th annual. So we're getting all the shirts with my picture on them. We're gonna have a,
Oh,
we're gonna have a photo booth. And get a photo with me. So
oh, that's
Christy,
awesome.
why is that so funny?
Oh, she's hilarious. We're gonna go and get all the big heads of just her and on the stick, and we'll have them everywhere
We
there.
want to come. We want to come around and talk to everybody with the mics.
Yeah,
There you
Instead of
go.
playing golf when they start drinking, it's like,
Yes,
what do you think
yes.
about this?
I really want to be shooting, but I think that I think videoing on the golf course at that tournament would be
It's a great plan.
exceptional.
Hey, there's two of them. One can do one, and one can do the other.
That's true.
Right.
You go golfing, Bray. Have fun.
it really is the best event, and it's something I'm super proud of. I know a lick about golf, but I can put on a good tournament. So.
And the raffle prizes are thousands and thousands of dollars in prizes that we give away.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely want to be at that
This-
thing next year.
Yeah. Our friend
Definitely.
John Conacher is going to the Zach Bryan conference, concert
Concert.
There you go.
from that golf tournament. So
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Count me in.
Zach Bryan's up
I'm
in
for sure going.
Massachusetts right now. Bunch of
we will
concerts
let
going on.
anybody come that pays the fee. It's not a problem at all.
That's it. Okay. No
Yeah.
one actually retires. That's what I'm saying, Chris.
That's right.
Don't. The industry just keeps you. The industry just
Forever.
keeps you.
I
I've
absolutely
been
job, so it's going to be very hard for me, and I'll be really the one crying at the golf tournament. So there you go.
I've been at a couple of companies where there was a guy that, I mean, we just kind of had to push into retirement or make them come into the office. It's just, and that's always sad because you just feel how much they love it, and it's such a part of them. They've just been doing it for so long.
Count me in. I have a golf.
It's something like that, you know. You just don't want to stay. You're just like, I can't leave. The
I
party
don't want her
keeps
to leave.
going.
Thank you, Christy.
I don't want to. Daryl says, "Count me in. I have a golf."
Yes, the golf.
Pretty good. Daryl, good one, Daryl. Oh, that's awesome.
It's going to be a big party.
No, that's great. And y'all are doing a lot. I mean, you have your campaign. Y'all are doing the trainings. So who's running the trainings for the AHJs? Are these like volunteers on people on the board or just members or?
Well, this particular training that we just did, we partnered with IAF, the Integrated Alarm. Anyway, AAF is the Alarm Association. And Danny Herod, this was his dream child, and he wanted us to partner. I asked the board of directors, would they be up for that? And they said every partnership is a good partnership, that they really want us to work together. So we did that. So Danny Herod and his team of alarm people, they teamed up with several of our board members that went and taught these classes. So I had 11 classes, and I had probably 7 or 8 different instructors throughout the run of this particular one. But usually I don't really have a problem finding speakers for the area interest meeting, because you're going to see over 300 people in your 3-week span. And if you were making sales calls or anything like that, how long would it take you to do 300 people, you know? So.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, I asked my sales guys to do 40 calls a day. You're talking about 300?
300 is a lot. What up, Matt? The Matt Bass is here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us.
Janine was at every single one of them, and it was making contacts all along the way. So it's a great event for people to be involved in.
Janine is great.
Yeah.
Janine is great.
So, what is it? Next month, there's a joint meeting over in Fort Lauderdale.
That is
Legislative.
Legislative. Can you tell me a little bit more about kind of what happens there?
I can. We combine with several associations. This is sponsored by AFSA Florida chapter and FFSA. But we bring in the Alarm Association, the fire equipment dealers, the fire chiefs, the fire marshals. We have lobbyists. We have a couple of senators and representatives who speak to us. Our lobbyists tell us about the processes and what we're going through. But the whole purpose of this is that we break up in little committee groups, and we come up with a top 5 in each one of our tables. And then we present that top 5 and narrow it down to an overall top 5 that we can all agree on, that we can work together on, so that we're stronger together, and that for the betterment of everybody. And it really is an amazing opportunity for people. And people can sit at home and complain about legislation that passes, or they can come and be a part of making decisions for our industry. And I think we're all very passionate about that, Christy and Justin. We've done this for several years. It is an amazing event.
And this year, for the first time, they'll have 4 CEUs available to the contractors if you do come and attend.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
That's
awesome.
great.
Give a little incentive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sounds like you guys are making waves.
Yeah, that's huge. I don't know anybody else doing that. To my knowledge, anyway, someone could somewhere in like Las Vegas or somewhere far away from me in Atlanta, but I haven't heard about it.
Yeah.
So that says a lot too. If someone else is doing it and you don't hear about it. But I heard about y'all. Several people said it's a must go.
Well, I agree. It is a must go, especially if you're a Florida resident in our industry, or in the other industries I mentioned. But you should be there helping make decisions. We just talked about the simplified permit at our area interest meetings, and people were complaining about the language in it. And I said, this language was decided at this legislative day, and if you don't come and use your voice, then you can't complain.
Right.
That is
Yeah,
very true.
That's right.
We also recently just created a coalition called the FDC, Fire Defense Coalition. And the purpose of that is to try and bring all those associations together. You got 2 sprinkler associations, you got 2 alarm associations, and the backflow, and all of them, and the fire marshal, fire chief. So that coalition is the goal is to help bring all those together, to have one voice when it comes to lobbying, and just to keep that communication going between the community, the associations.
Big
and
Country
what their
says.
pain points are.
Big Country says, how does one get involved with FFSA?
Reach out to me, send you an email, send me their contact. But don't ask to be involved unless you expect to hear from me, because
That's awesome. That's awesome. You heard it right there, Big Country. Send Laurel an email. That's awesome. Janine says, association membership benefits everyone. The members, the AHJs, and the general public. We influence and drive legislation. You heard it. Janine's a legend. You listen.
Yeah.
That's right.
Listen when she types. Janine, we appreciate you, everybody. Janine set this up. This is this show right here, episode 150, is thank you to Janine, right? I mean, Janine was pushing for you guys to be on here and set this up, and we really just appreciate her a lot. We appreciate you guys too. But Janine's been Janine's been some wind in our sails, if you would.
Yes, she's helped a lot.
I'll email Laurel tomorrow. Awesome. That's pretty cool. Better be ready.
And
Better be ready, Big Country.
I really appreciate y'all taking time and coming to meet with us tonight, even though it's stormy, rainy, it's late.
Late.
Yeah. So we really appreciate it. Thank you.
The night is young. So,
Yeah.
it's about
For
training.
the young.
It's about training, education, networking, CEUs, and being with people that share your passion for fire protection. Let's go. Janine's on fire right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that was already an hour. You see how fast that went by?
Yeah.
It did.
It went by quick, right?
Yes.
Let it pin Janine's comment. Everybody that joined us and watched, thank you so much. Please hit the like button on your way out. It really helps. Thank you guys so much for joining us too.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you,
And,
Hoop and Tape, Bobby. Thank you. And definitely Brian and Janine.
Thank you.
Thank
yeah,
you.
we'll be in touch. We want to continue working together.
If you want a set of Legos, let me know. I'll send you guys one too.
I would love.
Oh,
I
I would
I'd
love one.
I got a 7-year-old, and my daughter's gonna be 3 on Saturday, so I'd love one for them.
Well, it's a training opportunity. So, but they're not. I corrected it. It's not Legos. We got them in China. They're
Blaze blocks.
they're blaze blocks.
Close it.
I don't want to get in trouble for using a brand name.
Oh, I got you. Okay, Blaze blocks. I love it. That's so good. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you. All right, everybody. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and remember, do you know? Remember, do you know?
Do you know?
You come see us next week at the SEBC.
Yeah, and come to Legislative Day, Buddy Park Golf Classic, March 20th.